My messy hair is going to be useful for once.
Hello everyone, this is Beauty by Brains, and today we're getting scoop. So I haven't really decided exactly what to call this costume. I'm wearing a dress that's like covered in blood splatter, and I have blood splatter tights on and everything. And this is actually a recreation of a costume that I did about 2 years ago. And I was calling it like I was a murder victim, but when I was looking back at pictures of it, I thought that it was weird that I was a murder victim, but I was also covered in blood. It was like my murder victim. Am I just a doll? Are we in a simulation? Anyway, so I haven't yet decided on what to call this look. Feel free to get down in the comments and tell me what you think best eclipses this idea. But yeah, this is a very gory look. There is no glam version of this look, but I love it. I think it's super fun. It is definitely scary, but it's also a great way if you're new to prosthetics or new to blood. It's a way to incorporate all the different types of bloods that I have. And I just love it. I'm just so happy with it. I honestly wish that I was going somewhere so I could like scare people. I might go to the store. And just see if I can scare someone. But anyway, yeah, this is it. If you want to see how I got this look and this blood and just everything, then you can watch it. Okay, I haven't done my skincare yet, so I figured this would be a good time to do that so I can show you guys that. I'm going to do a full like skincare routine video at some point, but since I'm here, and I figured, I'd also do a little bit of an update with you, let you know how things are going and stuff. It is October. So I'm filming on October 18th, which is my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mommy, even though you don't watch this channel. And sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. So at this point, I have not uploaded for the past 2 weeks. And honestly, it is because, actually, I'm lying. I think I uploaded something maybe last week or the week before last, but let's just say 2 weeks, make it even. And that's honestly because Boothing has asked me to kind of come and help him with his company. So I've been out of the house, like most of the time I've filmed during the day, as you guys know, and I've been out of the house during the day, like literally leaving the house like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock and not getting back until 9 o'clock, that I haven't really gotten the chance to film. So as far as like making Halloween content, that's kind of been at a standstill. The other problem has been that, once I make something, I need to edit it. And then since I've been away so much or out of the house, I can't, by the time I get home, I don't want to sit in front of my computer and edit. So it's become like a thing. And now, Boothing and I are entertaining this week. One of his workers from California is coming to stay with us for the week. And it's really hard to film Halloween looks around someone that has no idea what you're doing. Like, if I was just doing regular makeup looks, it'd be fine because, like, as far as he's concerned, I'm just throwing on makeup for no reason. But, my looks tend to be very bloody, and I tend to use Boothing to take pictures of me and everything. And so, like, it's kind of hard to come downstairs and be like, hey, can you take a picture of me in front of this person? I'm just covered in blood for literally no reason. So I'm trying to like frontal film a bit so that I can get some content out for this week and also make up for the fact that I didn't post for the past 2 weeks. So my goal is to, we'll see if I'm lucky. My goal is to finish editing my last look, which is my vampire look, on today, so that can be posted tomorrow the 19th, and my hope is to get this look out on the 21st, and then I'm hoping I can film tomorrow and do my lion tamer look. And I think for my lion tamer look, I'm just going to do it here and take the pictures myself. I think I can figure out how to mount my phone to make it work because I have to go into the office on Tuesday. And then if I can get the circus look done, I think what I'll do is I'll edit some of the other Halloween content that I had. Like, I have a Halloween decor video, and then I also want to post a witch look that is more glam. So I think I'll do those at some point, or maybe I'll do the witch one tomorrow and do, since I have to like go to pick him up, I think I'll do the witch one tomorrow since that's just a regular glam look, and then do the circus freak one on Wednesday. And hopefully if I do the circus freak one on Wednesday, I don't know. My schedule is kind of getting away from me. We'll see how it goes, because I also want to do like a kind of like a cute pumpkin one, but maybe I'll save the pumpkin one for November because nothing matters anymore. But we shall see. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I've been so MIA, and I'm going to be MIA even more because I'm entertaining this week. But other than that, like, everything has been fine. It was Boothing's birthday last weekend, so I wanted to do film. I wanted to film a look for that night, but the time ended up getting away from me, especially since it was a surprise party, so I couldn't like ask him to do stuff in my stead. Like, I couldn't ask him to go and like set up anything or get anything from the store because that would tip him off. So instead, I kind of did everything myself. It was a roaring success. I didn't have a lot of time to really do anything other than plan, especially like I was getting very anxious about it and wanted to get it done. I digress. My point is that, so I'm filming now in the hopes, and hopefully I can film tomorrow, and hopefully I can film on Wednesday to do the last of my Halloween looks and get all that done. And hopefully I can edit it and get it out so that you can officially see everything that I've been working on and teasing and planning. So my skincare is done. I am going to go grab the tools that I need to do this look while I let that soak in, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back actually several hours later. The lighting is fading, so I guess let's get this going. Alright, even though the light is fading, this is still a very not complicated look. This is just Coke. I just wanted to drink it out of one of my Halloween cups. So first things first, we prime. So this is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. And as per usual, I'm just going to throw it all over my face. And then, of course, for the eyes, I'm going to take my Too Faced 24-Hour Eyeshadow Insurance. And the reason that I have you so far back is, honestly, the makeup for this look is really not that intricate. I would honestly say that this is one of the easiest looks that I've done so far. And it's not very intricate, and honestly, the real big part of the look is the blood. So I figured might as well just have you backed up instead of moving you up and down and everything, especially since the makeup is not that serious. For foundation, I'm going to actually no, I'm not going to correct my under eyes because I'm supposed to be looking dead, and so having a little bit of bags under my eyes kind of helps that effect. Sorry, I got primer in my hair. And like I said earlier, having messy hair for this look is actually really helpful. You're playing someone who is dead because you don't need to be all made up and pretty for it. So this is the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear foundation, I'm in 415 Bis Warm or Bis W. And like I said, I think I said it in my vampire video, normally for this look, and actually the first time that I did this look, I went and got foundation that was significantly lighter than me so that I look pale. I got a sample from Sephora because they give out, like, I think you can get 3 samples of whatever product they can put in a bottle. So, not a bottle, that little, like, little cube thing they have. So, I went and I got a little foundation that was much lighter than my skin tone in order to do this look. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they're not giving out samples, so I couldn't go and get a lighter foundation. I figured there was no point in buying one. So here we are. So the Lancome foundation is the lightest foundation that I have. So I'm just going to throw this on. If you notice, I'm not taking it all the way down my neck like I normally would, and that's because we're putting the prosthetic, if you will, right there, and so you don't need to cover it up with foundation. I'm taking my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. This is in C9, and I'm just going to do my regular concealer. Nothing fancy, nothing extra. Like I said, this is very, very simple. I am now going to set my under eye. This is the Lancome Secret Brightening Powder for the eyes. Just normal stuff. Did I say Lancome and not Laura Mercier? I'm sorry, it's the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And then I'm going to take her translucent powder and just dust that as liberally as I can over my face in order to make my face look a little bit more pale. Because I am dead, so obviously I wouldn't have blood rushing through my veins. And so because I'm supposed to be dead and pale, I'm actually not going to contour or bronze or... Actually, I take that back. I am going to contour. Just to give my face a more hollow look. I'm kind of going to do the same thing I did with my vampire look. Of doing a sharp contour but no blush in order to kind of accentuate the cheekbones and make everything look a lot more hollow. But we don't want it to look warm. So that's why you don't add blush. You don't add bronzer. You don't do anything to warm the face. And you see, this is lower than where I normally put my contour. I normally put my contour here. But I'm doing actually into the hollows of my cheekbone, so I do look a bit more kind of sunken in. I'm going to do my brows really quick. I'm just going to use my Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil. You know, this look really is not about the makeup, so therefore you can kind of just do whatever you want with it. So I'm just going to run just a little something through my brows to give it a little bit of structure, but nothing too fancy. This is not the look that you do like a full pomade glam brow. I'm just going to throw this in my waterline. This is my L'Oreal Paris Infallible eyeliner. And it's not like important to the look. I just thought that the look looked better when I had my eyes lined a little bit. Gave a little darkness to my bottom a bit. You know? And I had it out, so might as well. For eyeshadow, I'm going to take the Beauty Bay X Nikki Tutorials palette, and I'm going to go into, I'm going to drop everything. I'm going to go into the shade Mikai, which is this red shade. And as you'll see throughout my videos, I have a kind of commentary about the reds that I'm using, and so I picked this red because it is light and I wanted a sort of light red, and honestly, I'm just putting this all over my lid and buffing it out into the crease and into the inner corner. But like I said, it's really not a fancy look. The first time that I did this look, I actually used, I don't know if you guys remember, Kat Von D and Too Faced came out with a palette years ago where they, it was like a light and dark palette, and so it was Kat Von D was like this pink, was like black with like these gray and red shadows, and then Too Faced was like pink and cute and stuff. I honestly forget exactly what, I have it, I just don't have it with me here in Indiana, but it was a cute palette. And so actually for the look that I did before, I took that red, which was a very, very light red, and I'm also like not going to add anymore. I'm going to bring this up into the crease. Like, it can be as messy as you want it to be, and I'm going to bring it out as well into the outer corner. But yeah, they had that palette, so I used the red in that, and that was a very, very light red. So I picked this one because it has a bit more, you know, color in it, but I didn't want like a deep blood red. I wanted more of a light red. So I'm just going over the crease a little bit with the definer part of the brush. I'm going to clean it up in a second. And I actually, I'm taking the tip of the brush and putting it into the red and kind of smoking out my lower lash line a bit and connecting that to the eyeshadow on the lid, like kind of like you see how like I connected there. So you basically just want a red eye, and normally I don't like putting red in my under eye because I think that it makes it look like I have some sort of like eye infection or something. I just haven't gotten to the point where I can just throw stuff red under my eyes, or really anything, honestly, and I think that it looks good. But here, like looking like you have some sort of infection or something helps. So, and just connect it to what you've been doing on the lid. You know, you can bring it out a little bit if you want to make it, you know, not a cat eye shape, because I'm actually not putting any eyeliner on or anything. I know, scandal. So I'm taking a fluffy brush with no product on it. I'm just running it over in that crease just to clean up the harsh lines and stuff. Like, you don't want it to be too crazy. So if you wanted, so when I was deciding with recreating this look, I was trying to decide if I wanted to change anything about the look or add anything or take anything away. And honestly, I'm really happy with how the look turned out originally, and I didn't want to add anything. Like, you could add like purple or black if you wanted to create like a bruising effect or something, but that really wasn't what I was going for when I initially did the look. And I was actually really happy with how it looked and how it turned out, and how the focus of the look really was on the blood and not on my eyes, because that's not the point of the look. Isn't my eyes. The point of the look is the blood on my neck. Sorry, I'm like trying to gain energy while doing this video. So I'm going to take the Monsieur Big lashes from Lancome. I'm not going to do any lashes or anything, which is why I'm picking kind of a bolder mascara so you can see my lashes a bit more. But like I said, I'm going for a very like dead girl, ghost in the corner vibe. Like, this is not to be cute or fancy or fashionable in any way. Okay, I'm just going to put some chapstick on my lips because they feel really dry. But I'm actually, when I originally did this look, I didn't put anything on my lips because I liked how pale everything looked and like just dead and not like really that serious. So I'm going to keep along that same vein and I'm not going to add any lips or anything. I'm just going to double check the picture that I took when I originally did this look just to make sure that I don't need to add anything, and then I'll be right. So I double checked the picture, and honestly, there really is nothing to add or to do. So I'm just going to take my Tarte Taste Stay Spray setting spray just to lock everything in. And then we get to the fun part. So I'm going to go change into my dress and get my stockings on, and then we can get bloody. All right, I have my dress on, I have my tights on, and I guess we're ready for some action. So for the neck wound, I am taking the Hollywood Film Quality FX Transfers. This is something I just got from Party City, and I'm going to take the little cut. I've used both in the past, but I don't know exactly what I want to do for my final Halloween costume, the nurse one. I'm going to have a video on it because I did test it out, and I added like a little bit of blood splatter to my face because I wear a mask with it because, you know, COVID and everything. But I think, I don't know, I might add like a throat cut or something. So the directions say to cut this part off and then go in here basically and get this out. And you have to be really delicate with this part because the transfers are delicate. They are in this like plastic paper type thing. So I've actually made the mistake before of letting the plastic on top squish the transfer and like it matters. So I'm just taking it out of the little packaging, and I've done this before and every time I do it I forget how to do it. So it says to, so I'm going to take this out. Hang on. Okay, so it opens like this. So, here we go. All right. We have it open. So it says, so you have these two scars right here. So the top, I'm not going to touch it, but the top is very sticky. So the thingy says to, so I'm supposed to peel, there's like, it's on plastic. So I'm supposed to peel the plastic off and then, so you see how like it's, you see that? It's like plastic. So I'm supposed to peel the plastic off, and this has the little scars on them. So I peel them off, and then I find the rest of the directions. Okay, I was right. So I peel them off, and then I'm supposed to press them onto the FX paper. So I'm actually going to put this on the desk that I'm at because I don't want it to have any problems transferring, you know? Okay, so it says press it onto the FX paper. So I did that. And like I pressed it face down. So the scars are on top of the paper and this is all plastic behind it. Next step. So then it says to cut out the FX that I want. So since I want this one, I'm going to just cut down the middle so that this one is separate from the big one. Let's cut it out. See? So now I just have this smaller scar. So then it says to peel the plastic off of the transfer paper. So peel the plastic off of this and then place it how you want. So let's see if I can do that. Peel the plastic off, and then it says to place the exposed FX on your skin. So this is dry, clean skin right here. So and then it says to wet the transfer paper. So I have a wet paper towel, and I'm going to wet the transfer paper. And basically just get it wet. It says to wet it for about 30 seconds. You don't want to like run it over water, but you definitely want to get it wet. And I'm going to stop talking now because I don't want it to press bad. Halloween, 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 Alexa, set a timer for 30 seconds. 30 seconds, starting now. So then you're supposed to take the transfer paper off and your scar remains intact. So as you can see, there is a little bit of plastic, and honestly, this is all my fault. I should have A, stopped talking, and B, I should have wet the paper better. I should have like gotten a freshly wet paper towel instead of like this one that's been sitting on my desk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut these little plastic pieces off just so that it's a bit more but as you can see, like it looks really good. Like I'm really happy with it. I just need to get rid of a couple of these pieces so that it doesn't look like I'm wearing a prosthetic, if that makes sense. I think what I did last time is I actually put some foundation over it, which I plan to do now. I just need to make it more even, get rid of these lumps, you know? And also, like, your hair helps with this. I would say this is why I have my hair back and looking so crazy, so that I look more like with it. You can also put it a little bit farther down. Mine's a little high up, but like that's okay because this is just like a trial. I'm not going to be wearing this long. So basically, this is my beauty blender that I use for a foundation, and I haven't put any more on the beauty blender, but I'm putting a little bit around. But you don't have to go too crazy because you're going to add blood, so that covers up a lot of it. So what I'm going to do now is I just realized I'm missing some tools, so I'll be right back. Excuse me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take just a paper towel and put it on my dress. And as you can see, you can talk and move. Like I went to work with this thing on my neck and it was fine. But just because I don't want it to drip onto my dress, I'm actually going to put it in my lap as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take some scab blood. This is from Mayron. and it's the coagulated blood gel. And I love scab blood. This is actually something I didn't have last time I did this. And it's just really good for making a kind of like fun wound. So it comes with this little applicator. I'm actually just going to take a Q-tip and take it off. It's very, very sticky. And I'm just going to place it along the scar. It's okay if it gets dirty because we're actually going to add blood to it. So don't worry, but just to make the wound look a little fresh.
In this town we call home, everyone hail to the pumpkin song. In this town, don't we love it now? Everybody's waiting for the next surprise. Skeleton Jack might catch you in the back and scream like a banshee, make you jump out of your skin. This is Halloween, everybody scream. Please make way for a very special.
I recommend blood gel for anyone who's trying to do like cool effects looks. Like I made a bullet wound with this before, and also when I was doing Letitia Lewis look, I was planning on adding this to the bullet prosthetic that I just didn't end up using because I didn't like it. But that's the idea. It's great for like wounds. And so the next thing I'm gonna do, and like notice the steps that I'm taking because it's important. So this sort of like scar blood is first. Next, I'm going to take my drying blood, and I'm just going to put some on my fingers, and I'm going to let this drip down from basically bring this down from both of my sides of my mouth. And the idea is that like my thinking, at least is what the movies and anime tell me, is that when you die, especially if you have like your throat slit, blood is going to come out of your mouth. So the idea is that blood has come out of my mouth and now it's, done, but that's the kind of idea I'm working for. I took it down to the wound. I'm going to continue the track just for continuality, but it's really not going to matter because we're about to add some of that blood powder that I like so much. And the reason I did drying blood for my mouth instead of blood powder, and I've totally put blood powder in my mouth before, don't get me wrong, is just because since this dries, I don't have to worry about it moving or smudging or anything. And when I did this look, originally, like I said, I was going to work, and so I wanted to guarantee that my mouth situation was going to remain the same. And when I tell you, like, I wore like a jacket, and then like it was Halloween, like I was wearing a jacket and everything. It was really funny. When I went to work, I was just covered in blood. I was a lawyer then, but I just made sure that on Halloween I didn't have court and I didn't have to see clients, so that I had time to like do this and I wouldn't scare anybody. And my boss was really cool. He just ignored me, honestly. He didn't care. Now I'm going to take my blood powder, and honestly, what I'm going to do, this is my magic blood powder from, was it Craftopian? Is I'm just going to take, that's a lot, not that much. I'm taking a little bit, like this much, and I'm putting it on a brush, and I'm basically just brushing the powder on my neck a bit. I'm going to take a little bit more. And just like under the prosthetic and stuff like that. Remember, like I've said this before, or if I haven't, I did to say it before. This powdered blood, like a lot goes a long way. So do be careful how much you're putting on, because you don't want to overdo it. I mean, I'm all for it. There's no such thing as too much blood, but you don't want to overdo it. I'm also kind of making sure that I concentrate it right under the wound, because think about it, if your throat gets slit, you're going to bleed down. So there's going to be a lot of blood there. So I'm just taking some more and just adding it to my chest and everything, so that kind of comes down. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to now put this away so it doesn't get wet. Like, honestly, like, this is like I have so much powder left over. Like, it's a really good investment, even if you're only doing one like FX look. Like, it's a great investment. It's not that expensive, and a little goes a long way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to cover the wound and just spray. This is this Sweet Gray setting spray. You could just use water. I just don't have a water spray bottle, so this is what I use. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to cover the wound because you don't want your scab blood to get wet. But don't worry, you can always transfer the water up. Make sure you get that blood, stop it from dripping, because you don't want your dress to stain. Trust me. Trust me. And honestly, what I'm going to do now while the blood is wet is just bring that up to the prosthetic and just sort of place it around the wound so that it looks like it's flowing out of it. Be careful because it is still sticky and you don't want to A, pull it up, or B, get all that stickiness on your fingers. You don't need that. I'm making sure that all my finger things look down, and it's okay if it's not perfect. If you wanted to, like, got a little bit of scab blood up here, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. It's all good. There's no wrong way of doing this. I'm just going to clean up right here because I don't want it getting on my dress or on my bra. The last time I did a blood look with my beige bra, I actually did end up getting blood on my bra. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, careful looking down, like as you see it got under my neck, but like it doesn't matter because there's just blood everywhere. Add some drying blood, especially under the wound, because that's supposed to have like the freshest amount if you think about it. Or if you don't, if you're not obsessed with blood and gore like I am, I understand. And I'm actually going to take the drying blood and kind of make a line right here because the drying blood will dry and won't go into my dress, but the blood powder won't. And I'm just adding a little bit more, making it a bit more vibrant since it is going to dry down. It doesn't really matter. And just all the places that the blood powder either missed or didn't quite cover, And as you can see, like it's splattered out a little bit over here, which is cool. Where's the top? Just covered in blood. So yeah, this is what I was going for. I like it. Obviously you can add more blood. You can get a lot more artistic with it if you wanted to with the blood splatter and how things go. I was trying to go for like as simple but still like on point as possible. I'm not going to add anything to my lips or anything because I like the paleness of it. I'm just brushing the residue of the blood powder on my shoulders and stuff. And I'm going to go wash my hands and then I will be back for like final looks and everything. Okay, hands are washed. This is the final look. So like I said, you can jazz it up or jazz it down if you want to. You can put the prosthetic on and add blood. Either way that you want to do it is fine. I just, wanted to add a little bit more to it this year since I've had the scar blood and everything. But thank you all for watching, and thank you for watching all my Halloween videos. Hopefully this can be up when I want and I can get back to schedule. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Things everywhere. Life's no fun without a good scare.